Welcome to Home Groups, where we apply the message we heard this weekend at FV Church.
Yeah, this weekend we got to talk about an empty seat is a serious matter.
This seat is a very serious matter. When a seat is empty, someone is not hearing about Jesus. Every opportunity that our church has to reach someone for Jesus, we want to.
Push your hair a little more. There you go.
So we are excited about this week's message, which was about an empty seat being a serious matter.
Right.
And we talked out of Romans 10. I was the one who preached, I should remember.
Yeah.
We talked out of Romans 10, and we didn't get a chance to read verse 9, so I'd like to read it today.
Let's do it.
If you openly declare that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved.
So to reach people for Christ is both so simple to explain, and I mean, it can be complicated to live out as you experience as you go, but to explain what it's like to meet Jesus, it's believe in your heart that he is Lord, and then say it, confess it with your mouth.
And if you can memorize that one verse of scripture, you can tell someone what it takes to be a believer.
Yeah.
Believe in your heart, confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord, you will be saved. Now, being a Christian takes more than that, and that's what home groups are about. If you guys are in a home group, you know that it's about working on your faith and testing it out and growing
it's a chance for you
together.
to discover more about it and build it into yourself. You can learn truths that really help you in life because it's regular get-togethers that helps you with each different situation. But the basic always comes back to that Romans 10:9, to if you believe in your heart and confess with your mouth, then you will be saved.
Will be saved. And it's an ongoing confession. It's not a one and done. You daily remind yourself Jesus is Lord and you will be saved. And once you have that idea and Jesus has truly saved you, you will want to share it.
Yeah.
That's why an empty seat is such a serious matter. If someone is missing, it's our responsibility to help them get connected. Now that doesn't mean every single person is going to say yes. When you invite someone to church, they might say no, or they might say yes and then never show up, and that can be discouraging. But it's important to remember that you've planted a seed. You've started the process. You've helped them along the way.
Yeah, my sister and I both grew up around here. Candace and I went to New Oxford High School. And just as we've gone through years and years of being at Freedom Valley, we've seen our friends that we invited in high school that seemed like long shots. I had one friend who came like once to a youth group, and then later on, years later, moved away, moved back, and now is coming to Freedom Valley again. It's so funny how long some seeds can take to mature, but that they do in the end. And we see people coming back, really answering the call for the first time to come to church and experience what it's like to have that great relationship with God and with their church. It's really cool.
Yeah, so it's really important to invite people, but it can be difficult to invite someone to church. So let's talk a little bit about what that can look like. Right. I think one great, very practical, simple way to bring up the topic is to say to someone, how was your weekend?
It was great. I had this awesome time at church. We had this like crazy pond thing that kids were like fishing in, and one kid fell in. It was hilarious.
Yeah. And when you ask someone, how was your weekend? They'll tell you how their weekend was, and then they always end it with, how was your weekend?
Yeah.
And there's your opportunity to talk about church. You've subtly begun the process of asking them what they did so that you can tell them what you did.
What was the example you used in your sermon of like what we did that weekend?
Yeah, someone dancing on stage and playing silly games like they did this weekend, or blowing up a balloon and it popping.
You said a man dancing on stage to shake it off. That's what you did this weekend.
That's what we did. That's what we did last weekend.
Yeah. Or maybe you guys with your home groups, you have an amazing home group, something that you love going to and that it's really inviting and a warm environment. Maybe you know someone who thinks church is a little intimidating, but would be into home groups. Ask your home group leader if you can invite someone there.
Yeah, say, I meet with a group of friends every week, we have some food, we watch a video and we talk. You'd actually really like these guys, they're cool, come check it out with me. That's such an easy and simple ask that who wouldn't want to respond to a friend who cares about them enough to invite them to something.
Yeah, and it's come hang out on a couch and leave whenever you want. Not come to a service that you're like
you don't know when
sitting in and hoping there's no unwritten rules. Like
So an empty seat is a big deal. If you look around your group and you see empty seats, help fill them. If you're in a service and you look around and you see empty seats, fill them. It's so important. So I hope that you guys have a great conversation thinking of ways that you can help invite to church, that you can fill those seats, and that you can take it seriously to plant seeds in people's lives.
That's awesome. I hope you guys have a great discussion.
We'll see you soon.